know what, I don't remember anybody talking about boarding school. Even my great-grandma, she went to Panguitch boarding school, but I don't remember her ever talking about it or telling me anything about it. But I did know that she knew how to write her name, but I never even questioned, where did you learn to write your name? I went to Keams Canyon boarding school. That was a long, long way from home. I don't know how many miles, how many hundreds of miles it was, but it was quite a ways. It was because of neglect. I read a report where it said, you know, I was neglected because by then my great-grandmother had died and I was living with my grandmother, Madeline, and she was an alcoholic. Her husband was an alcoholic, and so I was in a home that wasn't good for me, and I guess people saw that.
Well, it had to have been at least a 6 or 7 hour drive back in those days. I'm sure we were all scared. I'm sure we were all scared. We didn't know what to expect. I just remember pulling up to the dormitory, and there was a parking lot, I guess, and there was covered wagons. You know, the Navajos, they were still using wagons to get around in, and you know, they were taking some of their kids off, you know, and dropping them off.
I don't remember being told. The only memory I have of it is being taken to Keams Canyon. We were with my grandmother Madeline and her husband, you know, but I don't remember seeing the school from the outside. I just remember being there, but I don't remember getting there or remember who we talked to or entering the school or going to the dorms or anything like that. I think I was about 10, or 10, maybe 11, 10 or 11, but I was in 4th grade, I think. I don't have memories of my first day there, but I do remember that everywhere we went, we had to line up. They lined up the kids. One of my not so good memories was when we had to shower. They took all of the little girls, we had to undress and go take a shower. And I think that was my first shower experience. Because on the reservation, when I bathed, it was in a small round tub. And so the shower was something new to me, and something that I wasn't really comfortable with, because as a child, I was taught to be very modest. You know, when I bathed in my bathtub at my grandmother's house. And you know, that was a culture shock, I guess you would call it. Because that wasn't something we did, and I was told that, you know, you don't run around naked like that, or, you know, you're modest about your body.
Everything had to be in order, everything had to be neat, everything had to be, you couldn't have any hair on your brush when they would come inspect in the morning. It was like Army, you know, and our beds had to have the square corners, and, you know, and we had to have, everything had to be clean, and only one set of clothes in our little locker, you know, until we would, you know, we had to wear our clothes a couple days, and then they'd take them and wash them, and then we'd have to go and claim them, you know. Of the dormitory, always cleaning, and if somebody did something wrong, then we all had to stand out in the hallway at night against the wall, our face against the wall, and we'd have a line like where the linoleum was, and our feet would have to be right there, or we'd all be standing. If somebody did something wrong, we'd all be pulled out of our wing, our dormitory wing, and we'd all be standing there in line in the hallway until they would let us go back to bed.
Yeah, we lined up everywhere we went to when we went to eat. Oh, and one of my memories of going to Keams Canyon was there's a whole bunch of us that got lice, I guess, and they cut our hair off, little short bangs, little square haircut. Everybody had the same kind of haircut, and they combed our hair, you know, to get the lice out, and put some stuff on it. I don't know if it was powder or what it was, but they put that on us. But yeah, I remember everybody had the same kind of hairdo. You know, and that was funny to me. I think most of the teachers were white. I don't remember any Indian teachers. I think they were white, and I think that people from the office were white. But there were Indian people at the cafeteria. It looked like the cooks were Indians, and the people who were serving us when we lined up to get with our trays to get our food, I think they were native. They were probably Hopi or Navajo, because they were people who lived just right there.
I was telling you that the first teacher that I ever remember, and she can still stick in my head, was that little, I think she had to have been German, and she was an older lady. She always wore a bun, and she had, it had to have been false teeth because of the top part of her mouth. When we were sitting there and she'd be talking, we would see that silver on the roof of her mouth, and she was pretty strict, She had to keep all of us in line.
Well, I remember every weekend families would come to the school, bringing watermelons, cantaloupes, corn on the cob, and different kind of Hopi or Navajo dishes for the children that were there, their children. But we didn't have any family. We were so far from home as little Paiutes. And we would stand there and watch everybody sitting around like having a picnic, eating. And we were just watching. But my little Hopi friend, I remember her bringing me corn and showing me how to eat the inside of the corn. Well, after you eat all the corn off the cob, then you peel off that rough cob, and inside there's a little strip of, that was sweet. She showed me how to strip the cob off from around it and then suck on that. And get all the sweet out of it.
Everyone would leave on, not everyone, but majority of the kids, their parents would come pick them up. And because there was Hopi and Navajo kids, that lived right nearby. And but we would stay. We would stay sometimes. If it was a long weekend, then we'd be there, just a few of us. Oh, I was always jealous of the kids that went, that went home on weekends. Sometimes they'd bring us back some native food, and I remember them bringing us corn, cooked corn, and I remember just eating one kernel at a time, just enjoying it, and like peaky bread or corn, any kind of soup or anything like that, they'd sneak us back some stuff, or they'd share it with us, and we'd be able to grab something like that. Oh, in the summers where it was good to be home, but we were back to being, neglected again, and just seeing all of the alcoholism on the reservation and stuff, and it was sad.
I just went from the beginning of the school year till Christmas. They were working in the fields there. They were like migrant farm workers. Bunch of Indians did migrant farm work back in the day. I think it was too far for them to take me back to Keams Canyon, and they were working. The season was over down there. I think that's when we came back to Kaibab. I think I went back up to Moccasin School for a short while. I probably went up there until I got sent to placement program.
I graduated 8th grade there. Then then you have to go either to Phoenix or Sherman or some other school to continue on. It was kind of sad, because I wouldn't be going back there again, and I had a few friends that I probably wouldn't see for a while. I thought I was hot. I thought I was ready to conquer the world because I graduated 8th grade.